Good morning, I'm Gene Fowler from Sentry Roofing. This is my son Tim. Say hi, Tim.
Hi, Tim.
Good morning again. We're standing on our rooftop at the Sentry offices, and since we're talking about maintenance today, the first thing I want to say is you need to have somebody in charge of it. And looking at my own roof, I would say that we don't have anybody in charge of maintenance, Tim.
Not on our roof. We're focused on everybody else.
But, you know, like the shoemaker kids that go barefoot, yeah, this is our roof. So, we've got, this doesn't make any sense. Oh, okay, you're up next.
Rooftop maintenance frequency. You should be looking at your roof, or somebody should be looking at your roof at least once annually, if not twice a year. The spring and the fall are good times to take a look at the roof. You get a look at it after you get through the winter freezes, and you get a look at it again before you get back into it.
Let me ask you, why is winter such a tough time? Why is it so hard on roofs?
The ice and snow creates a lot of extra hydraulic pressure on the roof. There's falling icicles, and the extreme temperatures have a tendency to tighten materials up, cause cracking, and increase any problems that you already have that are starting to show up. So,
and why is it critical to catch maintenance items early, Tim?
you want to catch maintenance items early because you want to get to them before they cause any damage and before they get worse. Sometimes if they get worse, the repair ends up being a lot bigger than what it would have been otherwise.
What's an indication that you may have a roof problem?
A leak.
A leak, yeah, seriously. Leaks can be something that you may not even really notice unless you're looking for them inside the building. But if you do see a spot, if you have a ceiling, a wet spot on the ceiling, or a puddle on the floor, or a stain on a wall, it needs to be looked at. The problem you have is that damage can occur to roof insulation, to building structure, and if you do get to re-roofing, you may find out that it's much more expensive having to do a full tear-off if it's been leaking over time, rather than being able to recover and save money in the process. So take care of leaks when they happen. What should a building owner be looking for on the rooftop if they're doing their own inspections?
There's a number of things that need to be checked. It's not quite as simple as you might think it would be. First thing you want to check is your drainage. You want to get the water off the roof. We don't have any rooftop drains on this particular building, but with your rooftop drains, debris is going to collect around those. You need to clean that debris away so water can flow. And then also check your gutters and downspouts and make sure that there's no debris in those. Trees and just general dirt. If you're at a school, I pull out baseballs and such from gutters all the time. So make sure that that water can flow off your roof free and clear. The next thing you're going to want to check for is the sealants on the roof, those edges and things like that. You want to check, these are fail points on any roof. You're going to have sealant at penetrations like this, regular curbs, at walls, any place where there was caulking put down. You want to make sure that it's still adhered well, that it's not cracking, it's still somewhat pliable, and that it's still sealing the roof here. This is very dirty. Dirt is not a problem on the caulking. Discoloration generally is not a problem, but you want to watch for those cracks and anything that's loose. The next thing you're going to want to check for is damage to the membrane. If you look at the membrane here, you can see we've got good clean membrane. There's no issues with my seam, but if we go right over here, this is an issue. This line here is actually a crack in the membrane. This roof itself is actually from back in 1998. It has weathered extremely well for its age, but it's beginning to show it. Something like this is going to be the beginning of a cause for a leak. You want to watch for cracks such as these lines. If you see a lot of cracks that are spirals or circles and they're kind of all over the roof, that might be an indication of hail damage and something you want to get your insurance company involved with. The The next item on the membrane, besides the cracks, the seams, check for holes. Anything from a falling branch, icicles, to somebody throwing beer bottles up on your roof can cause a hole in the membrane, and you want to get those taken care of immediately.
In cities, bullet holes can be a problem too. We've dug bullets out of roofs on many occasions. One time I even found an arrow standing up in a roof. That would be an easy one to locate because the arrow was really pretty obvious.
You also want to check for loose membrane. If you have a wind on a roof and you can see it, they'll sometimes flutter. If you have a large area that's coming up, and I'm saying arrow, that's coming up and billowing, you may have loose fasteners, or the glue that holds down the membrane may have come loose. That's something that needs to be taken care of immediately by a professional, because in the next storm you could lose that section of roofing.
Check your HVAC equipment or other rooftop equipment. Sometimes doors will come loose. Other contractors may be on the roof servicing those equipment items. I was on a project one time and had the experience on a brand new roof of watching the HVAC serviceman simply throw the door, and it punched a hole in the membrane. Those kinds of things do happen, so look around units, but make sure the units themselves are in good condition as well.
The last item on doing inspections, if you're doing them yourself or having a maintenance professional do them in your facility, make sure anybody that gets up on the roof is trained in fall safety and trained to be on a roof and do it safely. You don't want to expose anybody to risks if you can avoid it at all. And that's the first reason why you may want to call us to do your roof inspections for you. We know a lot about roofing. We've been doing it for 40 years. We know what to look for. There's a lot of subtle signs that we can see that most people will miss. We can set up a program for you where we come out when you call us on a yearly or bi-yearly basis, or when you have a leak. Or we can set up a more formal program where we're scheduled to come out twice a year, check all the items on the roof, and let you know if we find any issues and get them solved before they become a major problem.